Alright, so I'm going to see if I can do a little tutorial on how to make a pattern out of some dots. What I'm going to do is, this should be pretty simple. I'm going to make a perfect ellipse, and we'll just say at 1/8 of an inch. Okay, we're going to have it be a fill of white and no stroke. Whoops. Collect the stroke, none. Okay, and our fill is white. Okay, so now obviously we can't see the ellipse or circle there. Excuse me. But if we were to get a rectangle, color that black and send it to the back, we can see that there's a circle there. So now what we will do is take that, we'll open our palettes menu, and let's just drag this guy into the palettes. Now it looks like white. Now what we can do is open up the pattern swatch, and it's hard to see, but if you look up here, we're in the pattern swatch. What we can do too is we can color it just so that we know what we're working with. Now we have this pattern here. We want it on a grid, and we want the grid to be 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna select that. We're gonna say 0.25 and 0.25. Okay, so we have pretty good spacing. Let's actually make it less. We'll go 0.19, 0.19. That gives a little tighter spacing. And let's see here. You also have options as to what type of layout you want it. Whether you want like a hex layout, hex by row, brick layout, which for circles comes out to pretty much like a hex layout, or a standard grid. I think the request was for grid, so we're going to leave it at grid. But if you wanted it kind of that offset look to it, then you would just hit either brick by row, brick by column, or hex by column, which actually makes it tighter. Hex by row makes it tighter up and down. But we'll just leave it at grid, and we will change it back to white. And now when we go out of our pattern swatch, we can delete our circle. We can make a square, and we'll color it black. Oops, black. And then if we duplicate the square and put that pattern in there, we can see it's got a perfect grid of white dots over it. I'll call it sample, and actually we can rename the pattern polka dot. Polka dot grid. Okay. Go back out. Now if I go back into it, what I can do is I can say hex by column, and then we'll say polka dot hex. save a copy. Oh. Polka dot hex. Okay. Oops. And that way we have both. Switch this back to grid, okay. There. So now if we duplicate this layer, sample hex, and we take that guy and we go there. Okay, so now I'm going to save this document and send it off.